you doing, Sam? I see you. Ignore you all day. Just been really busy painting. I got some more stuff to do, but a lot done. I had a lot of taping to do and a lot of sanding to do and stuff, but she's coming along nicely. I had to take off all these doors and stuff too. This is awesome. Check this out. I turn on this light into here, which is just a regular light. Oh, come on. Really? Come on! 12.44. 12.49. There's 6 volts. Then I turn on my little LED light. Come on! Nothing. Doesn't even use 0.01 volts. And it's way brighter. Yellow, white. All right, so I'm completely stoked. because I'm heading down the road to go and pick up a couch on the north side of Edmonton. A leather couch to replace my 21-year-old jackknife sofa. It's not comfortable at all, not even like a little, but getting the 3-foot by 5-foot leather couch through my 22-inch RV door is gonna be a chore. It's gonna be a challenge, but I'm faithful. I have faith. We're gonna figure it out. My friend Mike and I are gonna figure it out, so we'll see what happens. This is gonna be fun. Needless to say, I'm not overly impressed at the fact that I'm going to have to tear out my floor, but the great thing is that it's only in this corner, which is pretty awesome considering it's a 21-year-old camper. So I'm going to cut this piece out and replace the bracing there and replace the plywood, and then we'll start working on the back wall. It took 12 hours, but it's done, and I'm super stoked. I got the back done, and we'll have a little rain tomorrow, so we'll do a rain test, and if there's no leaks, then we'll start repairing the back wall. All right, well, this is the time that I've been waiting for the last 17 hours. It's raining, and we're gonna check out how well the camper is going to hold up from the rain. It's supposed to be a severe thunderstorm, so it'll really give me a good idea if I can start putting that back wall back together. I'm definitely ready to get my camper back together so I can have a life, because all my friends are giving me a hard time how I never spend time with them. So, sorry guys. Do what you gotta do. Anyway, yeah, so here we go. She's all done. I redid the outside of the rails today and then took out all the screws and then put in caulking where all the screws went and then put them back in just to be extra safe. So we'll see. Well, I'm very unhappy to report that there is still leaking in the corner. So I'm gonna have to figure that out and maybe tarp this corner of the camper for today. Nice and clean up there is one little spot. And then we get down to here and she's leaking. She's leaking again. And this little part here, got a whole bunch of water coming in. There we go. Okay, so I've got some great stuff, multi-purpose black spray foam insulation that I'm going to put into the cracks in between the new wood frame that I just installed and the exterior aluminum. I've got a plastic straw from Wendy's or McDonald's or something that I'm going to use, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch it right there so that I can get right into the crack, as this guy's a little bit thicker and it's not really going to go in where I want it to go. So the idea is that between the wood stud and the aluminum siding, there's a very, very small gap right now, and what I want to do is I want to basically create that watertight barrier so that the water doesn't even have a chance to get in. It's coming in where the screws are, which after 15 hours working on the back, learning as I go, it was pretty disappointing yesterday. So we'll give this a shot, and then also I've got a rubber spray adhesive that I'm going to put on the exterior where all the screws go in underneath that weather stripping. See if that makes a difference, and then later when it rains either today or tomorrow, I'll take the tarp off and we'll see if we have any more leaks. Really, really hoping that this does the trick so I can start rebuilding that back wall. So safety is going to be a big factor here. Using this spray foam insulation, once it gets on your skin, you're kind of euchred. So I've got my safety glasses. They're a little scratched, but they'll do the trick. I've got some gloves, so that's ready to go, and I've got long sleeves on, so it covers most of my skin. If you do get any of this stuff on you, you've got to use acetone or nail polish remover, and as you can tell, I definitely don't have any nail polish remover, and I just don't have any acetone here, so I'm just going to be extra careful and try not to get any on me. Right in there, right in all these cracks, and create that waterproof seal. Alright, now upon inspecting the outside, we find that there is only one small section that had some external leakage. There we go, right here. We have two small areas. So that's roughly where the leak was on the inside. It's not pretty, but it's certainly functional. My main concern and what I was looking for on the outside was that the insulation, the spray foam insulation, was actually going to push against the seal that I put on yesterday and might rip or tear in some of the areas, or might come out like those two little spots. Thankfully that didn't happen, so I'm super stoked. Stay. All right, So I used a product called Leak Seal. It's by Rust-Oleum on the outside and completely covered those side corner pieces on either side, overlapping the existing polyurethane sealant that I put on yesterday. And I just sprayed the hell out of it. And then also got in where all the little screws go underneath the weather stripping, which I'll show you in a second. I'm just sealing the crap out of this thing, hoping that it's not going to leak. So I guess we'll know in the next 24 hours if all this work is gonna work and we can get back to doing the back wall. Hard to tell, but you can see even just here where the little bubbles are, that it creates that clear seal on top of the aluminum. The dishes are done and the kitchen is done. Finally. The television is mounted. It's not in its final place, but for right now, that'll do. The back wall has been completed today as well. I've got a couple more I gotta do on the bottom, and hopefully that'll be a tomorrow thing. Cupboards are back up, or the cabinets are all back up. Couch is ready for me to drink that beer. I'm gonna put down gonna build a step around here tomorrow or the next day. 42 days, so a few more and we'll be good to go. I'm up on my roof and I'm gonna reseal where the aluminum meets the rubber. And after all the work that I've done looking at the sides of the camper here, I realized that I really probably should have done this a long time ago. Come up, do an inspection and see what's what. And then I would have realized that I'm missing an entire piece of weather stripping. And well, let's take a look. You can see on the side rails that weather stripping, this piece right here goes along and it protects the entire length where the screws go in. And that's the same on both sides. Now, this piece here, where the aluminum meets the rubber, is missing that piece. And some of these have, well, let's see in the sun, some of these have, it's completely covered. However, over the years, there's little holes that have deteriorated in the top of the screw, and that's allowing some water seepage to get in. And then there's also this entire bead here, which I'm gonna inspect, and then I'm gonna reseal. Okay, so we're ready for our lap sealant. This is self-leveling lap sealant from Dicor. I got this from the local RV place. I've got soapy water. I wiped this all down, cleaned it. I cleaned that up with some regular water and then put on some isopropyl alcohol directly to the cloth, not directly to the surface. and then cleaned all this off. You notice that it's a little bit thicker in areas like here. It gets kind of thin there, and there's even a small little hole right here. I found several of those. It doesn't take much for water to find its way in. You go along, and then even in areas like this, and then here it starts to get much smaller, and then we want to go right into the corner. So you're going to redo all that and then do it on both sides. Truly is amazing what you can learn when you use a little soap and water and rubbing alcohol. A little wee inspection. You can find little holes like that guy there. And come around, and again, the smallest little holes here in the corner. So we'll go around and we'll redo that. However, I did find what looked like just old dirt. A little hole right there. And then, oh hey, maybe that's part of the reason the back wall was so incredibly wet, was this giant gaping hole right here. So we'll get that all fixed up nice, and we should be off to the races. So I think this guy is asleep, and he doesn't care. He's just chilling. Hey, time to wake up. Get out. This is my camper. I want my coffee. Get. No. Hey. Nothing. This is not a bed and breakfast for mice. Get! Hey, time to wake up. Get out of my camper. I want my coffee. Oh! I think he's sleeping. I'm literally standing in my kitchen, and I think he's asleep.